Okay, this is the Super Toy Fair and Show at the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds Time Tunnel Toy thingy and slideshow thing. Yeah, so this is half an hour of footage from a 2-hour shoot. And this is a joke about how the cherry pickers, their natural habitat. I'm going to turn off the sound when I get into the thing because there's music playing in the back. Here's Cat explaining he's going to the toy show and that I was going to find things in there in that it was going to be, and that there was going to be a later one, December 8th. But this is the other one. I thought that I was going to see Jim Jacon, but I didn't actually call him ahead of time, so and I tried to, but his mother's answering machine was busy. Now we're going to cut to the Fairgrounds footage with audio cut off. So yeah, now the audio is off. And Fairgrounds. And yeah. It was a slightly breezy day. The sun had come out, so the clouds parted. It was, yeah, in the large hall again. This is kind of where it usually is. This was early bird, so and that picture is similar to a Cat, so I took a picture of it. Yeah, a little comment on some of the stuff. One vendor didn't want pictures. Taken. The other ones didn't care. Other than the early bird. So I deleted his picture. I deleted it off the thing. So it's not on there. And here we have some action figures and Transformers, and I think a lot of those here at the show today. Time Tunnel is, of course, a collectibles thing. I'm now based on Meridian Avenue, and I have not been in their new store. Although I did go into Eastridge's new Legends store, and I received something from Legends afterward. There's an Optimus Prime in the box. I think that's probably a reissue. Clara, because it looked really good. Here we have several Transformers, including an Optimus Prime. Looks like a Generations one, like the one in the Robotech movie. Then we have sort of a mechan, one of those mecha Robo-Sapien lizard guys. So Bumblebees, various kinds. Bumblebee never really should have been a Camaro. Always should have been a Bug. Yeah, we have G1 Prime Megatrons, combo guys, robots in disguise, and Beast Hunters. A lot of Beast Hunters on this. This was one of the associates of the Time Tunnel people. He's there every time. He allows pictures. In fact, he encourages them. He says, "Oh yeah, take as many as you want." So yeah. Yeah, he was one of the original. There was an online store, people. So yeah, bought some Jetfires from that guy back in the day. I had lots of Jetfires, a lot of them painted. But yeah, somebody was commenting years ago that you painted those. Yeah, because they were junky. I painted them to look better. I didn't. Yeah, they weren't new. But yeah, here's so yeah, he's got a lot of boxed and unboxed Transformers, some reprints and reissues, some G1s. The old Transformers, the series started in '84. G.I. Joe started in late '83, early '84, around the same time, same people. Yeah, these. Yeah, and there was a little purple sort of truck guy there. It was like a Wreck-Gar kind of guy. Yeah, his trailer became detached and it was off in the pile, and I stuck it back on him and said, "Look, now he's now he's got his trailer. Sell him complete." There's a Teddy Ruxpin, an actual intact Teddy and Gruffy. Ooh, tempting. It was hundreds of dollars. Nope, didn't buy him. I did buy a Teddy Ruxpin, but that was at a flea market. Yesterday I was on the bus, I going to a thing, and somebody said, "Oh, thought that I worked at what was it? Oh, there's some great yeah, Walking Dead characters, yeah." So this guy, he was like, "You worked at the farmer's market." He was like excited about it, and I was like, "Nope, no, I never worked at the farmer's market." And then he sort of got off the train in nuts. The other dude near me was, did he know you or something? He's like, "I don't think so." and then this lady had a baby, like a newborn with her. I said, "Do I look to you like I would have worked at a farmer's market?" And she thought, "No, I don't think so." Maybe it's the hat. I don't know. Oh, no, I never worked at a farmer's market. I said to the other dude, the guy got off the train. I said, like, farmer's market. And I was like, and I says, yeah, I can't even keep the plants alive in my front yard, man. I said, I could actually kill roses. Oh shit! Oh look, it's Skeksis, awesome. And the turtle one. And there's some cool little knick-knack things. I like that I zoomed in on some of these. Sort of a Chewbacca plush. I thought at first it was an elf, but it was next to the elf actually. But yeah, Cabbage Patch Kid or Strawberry Shortcake actually is what that is. Commentary is Cabbage Patch Kid. No, it's a Strawberry Shortcake. He's a little short for a stormtrooper. Yes, it was. So this lady had painted up his authenticized G.I. Joes, like the bigger 60s ones, to look like an actual authentic army troop. A tank and a car. Looks like one of the ones from the stories. Maybe that's where they got them. But yeah, they're painted up to look like the slightly larger Joe figures. The really well done model of the tank and the soldiers. And yeah, it's really well done. So I filmed that all over the place. She totally wanted pictures of that. I film more of it. Yeah, and then there's the larger G.I. Joes that go with it. It was for the reissues. And she had some originals too. It wasn't just those 5 reissues there. I like 60s era G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe was actually around in the 60s. It was like an alternative to the Ken doll. And Ken and Barbie. And in the 60s. And the 80s G.I. Joe that we grew up with later, because I'm born in 1970, child of the 80s. Were the later ones, the bigger Megu ones, and then the little ones. There was another guy selling G.I. Joes that had said the black snake eyes, and the other snake eyes were the reissues from 2001. I have 2 of those actually from the reissues from the 2002 line and the 2010 line. I think I have the black snake eyes, which is cool. It's a reprint though; it's not the original. I think I also have the 20th anniversary 1, 2, somewhere. What that would be like 2003, something like that, 2004. Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah. There's that tank again, because I just wanted to show the details on the soldiers and the paint and the stuff. That was pretty impressive. And then I cut immediately to cute plushy things because I thought it would be funny. Because, yeah, army things and then cute plushy things. So, yeah, yeah. Saying on the other thing for the movie review that I was on the bus and these two scaredy cat, like, sort of teen girls that wanted to go to the Great Mall from somewhere around, I would say, it wasn't quite White Road, it's just after White Road, where it becomes Piedmont. It's one of the roads in town. And it's a long stretch road along foothills, is why it's called Piedmont. And and the bigger one, there were two of them: the skinny leader one, and the other one that was a little cagey, didn't want to go, a little anxious. There's a Spock that looks like he got too much sun and got burnt. Who's gonna want that? It's a big Spock. And there's some Star Trek figures. I did buy a Kern figure from that guy. Yeah. So let's see. But yeah. So they were headed toward the Great Mall when I got off the bus at Piedmont and Landis. I assume they arrived there, and then their parents said, "What are you doing at the Great Mall? Get over it. Get back in the bus. We'll have to come and get you now." God. It wasn't too late though. It was like 5 or so. So it wasn't dark yet. I suppose it doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter if it was teen boys, but it was a couple of girls, so their parents would probably freak out. Yeah. It would matter if they were boys too, if they were like looking for trouble or something. Anyway, so here we have a lot of Hot Wheels cars, and these are mainly reissues because they almost have to be. I have an old Hot Wheels cars collection, but pin up some of them on the wall sometimes when they're newer. I like to print up the Dodge Charger ones currently. Didn't see any this time. And Oldsmobile SS's and Mustangs and things. Muscle cars and Transformers, of course. Mostly I put up Transformers. So his Monster High, because I intended to get Monster High later in the mall. So yeah. No, I didn't. It was actually just a brownie, but no, it wasn't a special brownie. Although watching the Littlefoot movie with special brownies later on might be interesting. Then I wouldn't be concentrating on the movie at all. Be like, eh. No, I didn't do that. It was a brownie from Mrs. Fields Cookies. It was not an edible. I'm kidding. I could do that. There's a guy that looked like Tim, but it wasn't Tim. The Texas guy. He come over from Texas to sell stuff. He had all kinds of stuff. So the guy in the back of the store here, kind of the back left-hand corner, is one of the Time Tunnel guys, and there's a guy on the right that's another Time Tunnel Capital guy from the old Capital days on the other side. And there was a bootlegger, and I could not find the bootlegger again after showing a brief shot of him here. That's actually not a bootlegger though. That's just a DVD salesman. But there, I didn't get any shots of the actual boot. And then there's Dollar Each Comics, and I pulled one out, and it is a Sandman issue from the 90s, I assume. Yeah, I can see that being $1. Yeah, that series was a little odd. You kind of have to have the whole thing to get any of it. Tim used to have it. We haven't had Tim on the show in a while. He's got a kid that's probably a year old at this point. So, yeah, I'd like to have him on the show. I have him on the Calicat show. He hasn't been really on the Calicat show since the 2012 Time Tunnel toy, and then was mentioned in the 2014 visit with him, which was more of a breakfast meeting discussing Robotech Transformers. So yeah, and of course Space Bridge and Rebels, which later was made into the Robotech thing. I have been in contact with Tim, not in the past 6 months, enough to put elements of those Robotech Endless Circle stories out and make a movie, 3 movies. So you got End of the Circle, you got Space Bridge with the Bioship mystery, and you got Now the latest completed Robotech, Transtech, Shadow's Return, and The Children of the Shadow. And now the Robotech saga is finished. If there are any new ones, they'll be completely new. They will not be from based on any of the McKinney novels. There is one that is at alltransformers.com, one called Stranded, but it also kind of follows the same formula as Children of Shadow, so I alluded to it. I had Night Racer in it when she's in it, but I did not actually do an adaptation of that story, not directly. So yeah, there's no. It just says all Transformers credited, but not that specific person because it really had nothing to do with it, except that Night Racer was in it. And they do not own the moratorium on G2 Night Racer. They had a few Night Racers here. They had a motorcycle version and a car version. I did not buy them, but it would have been cool. Turned out one of them was actually not Night Racer, but rather of somebody else. It was supposed to be RC, or it was a Moon Racer. Slightly different. A different racer. Moon Racer. Here we have some cars. Classic things. I don't necessarily need to narrate what's being shown. You can pause it and look at things. Here's Speedy Gonzales riding a donkey. A little bitty donkey. It's just funny. And an alien. There's a car. Mustang car. That's kind of a combination of new and old. There was a lot of that this time. There are more people than what it looks like. But most of them didn't want to be on camera. Also, website keeps saying, "Are there minors in the video?" Not intentionally. It asks that, I guess, in case like you had like kids talking or something. No. Killed the sound, so can't tell. They were playing music in there. Foxy 4 sign. No, I guess I guess there's a notice on all YouTube videos. It's not just mine. It says it doesn't want to have any like exploitation. Of course, it wouldn't. No. But here we have. There was a guy selling a Metroplex, the new one, for like $300. This guy's, someone's gonna get it. I was like, $300, really? Big Bad Toy Store has them for $250. $200 tax. Yeah, still $200 at Big Bad Toy Store. That reissue of Metroplex is not worth $300. Nah, it's $200. Unless you really, really want it really, really bad. Yeah, so here we have, that's the head, the glowing head ball from, that would have been a cool prop, but what would I have done with it? It was hundreds of dollars. What would I have done with like a prop head, a glowing sphere? I mean, it's cool, but yeah, it's like they had some Stretch Armstrongs and some wrestler guys. There's some people there. Yes, each and every person in here is given permission to film it. So here we have, Tigger the cat. I thought one of the previews was a preview for a cool cat. A blue kitty cat. With an old dude playing one of them. I mean a really old dude. Like, probably 60. He looked old. Not just mid-40s, but 60. Too old to be playing a kid in the movie. Anyway, I would be too old to play a kid in the movie. It wouldn't work. It would be like, I'm a little boy. Yeah. Just be creepy. It'd be like that Pinocchio movie, Benigni's Pinocchio from years ago. Like, oh my god. Creepy. But yeah. Yeah, and they had some Ninja Turtles things that were neat. Yeah. I ended up not actually buying much of it there. But there's some Millennium Falcons. Various stages of disrepair. The one immediately in the center looks like the one that Tim used to have. That was all banged up and floating in his pool at one point. But yeah, some Star Wars stuff. I actually owned a one of the Y-wing fighters from the when I was a kid. One of the ones from Empire Strikes Back with the little pontoon jets on the back. So it looked like a Star Trek thing, kind of. It had little round cylindrical jets on the back. It was supposed to be that guy that was behind them going, cut the chat. Cut the chat I read 2 was from part 1. But yeah. But it was somewhat similar to that. Buzz or whatever. He got blown up, but he tried to tie up the AT-AT. Yeah. I had that guy. Mark Schwartz had several of them too. And he tortured them, the figures. I also had the little X-Wing guy. Not this big. But the other one was bigger. It was like maybe 18 inches. The 18-inch one. Which they did reissue, but I didn't buy it. Oh yeah, Transformer. We have a box that seems to have been put in upside. It doesn't matter. Scales upside down. That's okay. It's such a brief little scene. I'm not going to go back and fix it. So yeah, there's a lot of robots. Whole lot of robots today. If I had like, one of these trade shows, you really have to have like $600 to blow and just go in there, and I never do. Go in there and just buy a bunch of toys. You want to buy the rare ones too. You want to buy just any toys. Usually if it's in a box and it's clean looking, and I think Beast Hunters or something, that wasn't that long ago, so like 2014, 2015, so that's not going to be a collector's item. But some of this other stuff, it's got to be rare. It's like with comic books in the 90s, when they started mass producing reprints of everything, and they glutted the market of comic books. Stan Lee was talking about that, and saying how like the Marvel guy, and he was saying how like on a show, when he was on a show, we're talking about all these college kids thought that they could sell their like comic books later from the 90s, and they're like, no, they're not rare. There's millions of this copy of X-Men 609. No, the rare ones are X-Men 6 and 7 and 1 and 10 and stuff like that, and X-Force 1, Spider-Man 1 or 2 or 3. Not these 600 Series 8, whatever the hell it is. Spider-Man 1999 is not worth, like, lots of money. It's not. It's only 10 years ago. Like 15 years ago. It's got to, yeah, they made a lot more copies of those. But some of the trades are, though. What the trick with the trade paperbacks is, like the graphic novel, like, collections, is you go to one of those conventions where Stan Lee or one of the author guys is there, and you bring the trade that's been unopened, unsealed, and everything, sign the package, book. Then it's worth something, because he signed it. Yeah. But he doesn't usually do that. They sign an autograph, but you have to wait in line for a million years. I didn't. But I did see a guy from the church waiting in that line at that convention. Oh my God. He was waiting in the line. Like, oh man, you're going to wait in the line. He's like, oh yeah, I know. I'm going to be here all day. Oh. He ended up not getting the toy, but then this nice lady was there. Who was like, oh yeah, I know you've been waiting here all day in this line and you probably couldn't go to the convention or anything. Yeah, if you have to get out of line, I'll get the signature for you. That was cool. It's like, so that's neat. Yeah. So she got the signature for him. Because it was like 3 hours later or something. I didn't do it. I didn't get Adam Savage's signature either. Although, that was Comic-Con. I did get to meet Adam Savage at one point. Because he put on the costume twice. Well, first time I didn't know it was him. He was dressed as one of Kylo Ren's foot soldiers, the Knights of Ren. And then later on, he was dressed as one of those round, rotund Japanese egg people things. He was in the suit, walking around. So, savage. Nod yes. He's all, excellent. But yes, of course, the Cat show was infamous for having started in 2009 on YouTube, but 3 years before that, there was She's the Man. Channing Tatum was at the thing, and it was like, some of the church youth were at that back then when they were in their teens, young teens, and they were there at the She's the Man premiere, and I was there. It was before journalism classes actually started, but I still had. But I went back to San Jose State, so I had some. Actually, maybe they had started at that point. Yeah. So, in the original broadcast, I had some cool Transformers here. Yeah, I had. Well, in a nutshell, basically, they weren't going to get into the movie because they were at the back of the line, 20 people behind me, and they saw me, and we made eye contact, and they're, we're not going to get in, oh no, I said, those two girls, they're with me. They're my nieces. Okay, we'll let you in. They weren't really, but they were my niece's friends, actually, but they don't know that. Back in the day, and they got to get the Amanda Bynes thing, but they didn't get an autographed picture of Amanda Bynes and Channing Tatum, who was in this current movie. So it's all connected to the movie. Oh yeah, and here's the flag aircraft carrier. And and this thing is cool because it's like, this guy's asking $800 for this. Currently, when that was out, it was $150, and parents were hiding it from their children, not buying it for them for Christmas. I knew of. I had kids that knew that Tim's brother had a Technodrome. Jim Chacon had Fortress Maximus back then. I had parts of Predaking, but couldn't get all of them back then. And there's the Pepsi Prime, the Canadian-American / version. And that's there he is for sale. That's important to Trek Yard's guy who sold his. I said, what do you mean you sold for $50? It's like, dude, you shouldn't have sold him for $50. I would have given you $100 for him. What? He was worth more than $50, dude. Oh well, you sold him, so yeah, not gonna get maybe later. So in a nutshell, that other story was that they didn't get a signature of Amanda Bynes and the other actors, but I did. I got the whole thing, press kit and all that. I said, well, I could copy the ones I got and give it to them that Sunday, 2 days later when Sunday happened. And so I photocopied the ones I had. I brought it to them in an envelope and said, brought it to their dads, basically, Mr. Palmer and Mr. Williams. And I said, I have the thing. Now, so I have Amanda Bynes' signature. Here's this one, and here's one. Gave it to him. Next day, that was awesome. And that girl, one of the girls, was now an adult and married, and she was at the convention. So, anyway, this convention that just happened with these other people, they were there in Spider-Man costumes, which was cool as adults now. So, yeah. Anyway, so that's the end of it. There's my little foot picture, and yeah, so that went well.